All rise. Support court with Judge Vanderbeat is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1078, McKinney case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. McKinney,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I am here to try to recoup costs that I've incurred with my daughter.
All right.
She's 9 years old. She's been with me since birth, and I'm paying for everything. I've been doing it all on my own.
All right.
Without a problem, but I've been doing it all on my own.
All right. And when you say all on your own, Dad isn't helping out financially at all?
At all.
Okay. And you said your daughter's 9.
Yes.
Is she involved in any type of extracurricular activities? That word always messes me up.
Yes, ma'am. Basketball, track and field, and tennis.
All right. Does Dad pay for any of those?
No, ma'am.
How much are the fees associated annually with each one of those?
Annually, probably roughly $4,700.
All right. Is Dad aware that she's in these activities?
Yes.
All right.
All right, guys, get ready because this case is going to get wild. Miss McKinney steps up and explains that she has been raising her 9-year-old daughter entirely on her own without any financial assistance from the accused father. She is here today to establish paternity and get the support her daughter deserves. The judge asks about the child's extracurricular activities, which cost almost $4,700 a year and include basketball, track and field, and tennis. The worst part is that the accused father hasn't contributed a single penny, which has already created
The extracurricular activities, does he attend those?
No, Your Honor.
So he doesn't pay for those?
No.
So what is the backstory? I mean, she's 9, so were you all in a relationship previously? Like what happened?
We were in a situationship for a weekend.
What in the world is that?
Well, it was a little bit more than a one-night stand. It lasted approximately 72 hours. I was on business in Washington, D.C., and he was there for a teacher's conference. I met him at a nightclub.
Ooh,
and,
I need to be careful what I ask.
Well, listen, the night grew long, and things happened within the next 72 hours. And so, yeah, that's the extent of it.
Okay, and you got pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. Was he involved in the pregnancy?
Well, he was definitely there.
Well, no, throughout your pregnancy.
Oh, throughout? No, ma'am.
Okay. So you just literally had the baby, no help from him, nothing like that. Did he show up at the hospital?
No, he was late.
Okay. So did you all have a DNA test done?
No.
Does he know he's the father?
He doesn't think that he is, and he's the only Caucasian that I've ever been with, so.
Okay. So that's where the issue lies then.
Now here's where things get juicy. Miss McKenna claims that her relationship with the putative father was a 72-hour situationship. Yes, you read correctly. She met him at a nightclub while on a business trip to Washington, D.C., and things proceeded to happen. Fast forward 9 years, and she has been raising their daughter alone. The alleged father was a week late for the baby's birth and didn't even show up at the hospital. The judge is obviously attempting to piece together this convoluted past, but one thing is certain. This case is anything but simple.
He doesn't
Basically.
believe he's the father, which is why he hasn't given you any money.
But he sent text messages, and he sent happy birthdays, you know, things
Okay.
of that nature. How is she doing? So I believe if he didn't care at all, he wouldn't send those text messages. Now, he's done that for the past 9 years. I've just never seen any greenbacks to follow those texts.
Okay. So when he arrived at the hospital, did he sign the acknowledgement of paternity?
No, Your Honor, when I meant he was late, the baby was already a week old at the time. I was already at home. We'd left the hospital. That's what I mean by late.
Oh, so he didn't show up at the hospital at all?
No, Your Honor.
So he didn't sign the birth certificate or any acknowledgement of paternity or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you're here today to do what exactly?
Well, I was hoping you would be able to help me, first and foremost, establish paternity
Okay.
at this point.
All right.
and
We
possibly
would definitely have to do that before any child support takes place.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, that's pretty much it. I've just been doing everything on my own. In my heart of hearts, I know that he is the father. I have no doubt. I'm just needing assistance.
Okay. All right. All right. Sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is what she's saying. Now, let me be clear in my questions because I just realized that I probably shouldn't have asked that question like that. Now, bypass all the 72-hour stuff that she talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's pregnant.
She was.
Okay, you were not involved in that process at all in
No.
terms of the pregnancy.
When the accused father finally gets a chance to speak, he says a lot. He acknowledges the 72-hour affair, but says Miss McKinney earns much more than he does. He works as a high school teacher and makes $660,000 annually. He also reveals that he has a newborn son with his fiancée and is positive the child is his because, well, the baby is white. He even said that the judge is clearly not impressed, especially when he says Miss McKinney doesn't need his money and is only pursuing this case out of jealousy.
Look, let me just start off by saying that most of what she said is essentially true.
Okay.
Although there's some giant omissions in there and some things that you need to take into account to get the full picture.
Well, does it involve the 72-hour
So
thing?
we were involved approximately that amount of time, yes.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't want to know any specific details
worry.
about that.
I'm not here to give you the details of it. I'm just here to tell you that we were in an intimate relationship on and off for about 72 hours, yes.
Okay. So, after you found out she was pregnant, what happened?
Well, first let me add some context to everything before I answer that, Your Honor. She works for the federal government. I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. She
Okay.
makes significantly more money than I do. I make about $60,000 a year. I don't know the exact figure of her annual income, but I know it's a lot more than that. She's in far better position to support her daughter than I would be, and what she's asking for.
You said her daughter, so you truly don't believe this is your child?
I am willing to accept that it may be, but we've not done a DNA test. What she said about being only with one Caucasian man, I have no way of knowing if that's true. She's lied before to me. So don't take, she was honest with a lot of the stuff she said fairly, but here's a big thing she forgot to mention. I have a son of my own. I have a newborn son, and with my fiance.
Congratulations.
What does
Thank
that
you
have
very
to do
much.
with this?
This is
Well,
what it
I allowed you
Okay.
the opportunity to speak. This is his time.
Yes,
now, I
ma'am.
asked you,
Yes,
was there
ma'am.
anything else you needed me to know before I moved over to
But I
him?
already know he's gonna push my buttons.
Okay, well, just sit there and don't let him push your buttons.
Okay.
That's the easy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
The judge rejects all of the alleged father's defenses, reminding him emphatically that the welfare of the child comes first, regardless of whether he had a committed relationship with Miss McKinn. She also orders DNA testing to prove paternity and makes it plain that if he is the father, he will be held accountable. Book for child support. Miss McKinney, meantime, is trying her best to keep her cool, but you can tell she's fed up with his antics. The judge's non-nonsense approach is a breath of fresh air in this tumultuous situation.
DNA results. Now, if for any reason the child does come back, well, the DNA test does come back and you are the father, you will have to start paying child support being ordered today, all right?
Can I respond to that, Judge, if I may? We were in what amounted to a long one-night stand. We never committed ourselves to each other. I wasn't even aware that she gave birth until like a week after it happened.
Lies.
No, I was never told that.
Excuse me, Miss McKinney,
Yes, Your Honor. It's the lies.
it's the buttons. Woosah. Okay? Now, to your point, I was looking here through this Texas family code looking for where it says that you have to be in a relationship with somebody to not have to pay child support, and it doesn't exist.
Well, she never, said. I was under the impression, from what I remember, that she was on birth control. Now, that may be my faulty memory, but I never entered into this relationship with any
even
intention.
still, let's just be clear. Birth control or not, a 9-year-old child is here. These are the facts. A 9-year-old child is here who deserves support, not only from her mother, but from her potential father as well. So we are going to reset this matter, get some DNA testing done. So to my original thought, if you are the father, you will start paying child support being ordered as of today, all right? If he is not the father, you can come back to court and petition as many people. Now, don't take that offensive. I'm not saying that you just been with everybody or anything like that, but you can come back and petition as many people as necessary, because this child, as I just stated, deserves to have the support from not only her mother, but from her potential father as well. So, do you all have any questions about what you're going to do?
No, Your Honor.
No.
No? Okay. And you have to make your daughter available for testing as well.
She's available.
Okay.
She's here.
Okay. So we can go ahead and get that taken care of today.
Oh, yes, we could.
Okay. So we'll reset y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
The judge sums things off by underlining the importance of supporting the child regardless of the parent's personal drama. She sets up DNA tests and reminds both sides that the child's needs come first. Miss McKinney agrees to make her daughter available for testing, and the case is reset, pending the results. The video ends with the judge dismissing the court, but you can feel the unresolved tension lingering in the air. This case is far from over, and you can bet there's more drama to come once those DNA results come in.